What's up, guys? This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. He is I and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. Thank you for joining me once again, my friends. Now, guys, I saw this article on inverse.com and I want to share it with you because it is yet another example of Star Wars parading its dead corpse up and down the street for all to see. Now, I know a lot of people are done with Star Wars and I do understand that, but I don't want them to just go out and just be like loud and boisterous with it and nobody is saying anything to oppose what they're doing. I think it's very important for those fans who are still left out here of the old Star Wars, not even what they're doing now, but just of the old Star Wars to say, listen, we see what you're doing, we don't appreciate what you're doing, and that's my voice. I'm not like hate watching anything, but I do feel like it's important to let people know that this was opposed, so when people look back on this time that we're living in now, they won't see that we were just compliant. There were people, there were voices who stood up and said, this is insane, this is insanity, and this is the age that we're living in now, right? So let's talk about this latest chapter of Star Wars, because every chapter they come out with has got to be breaking ground, has got to be making history. They can never just tell a fucking story. Everything has just got to be about, look at us, we're just so stunning and brave, right? So let's get into the headline here. It says, Donald Glover's Lando will give Star Wars exactly what it's missing again. Okay, so because like I said, this is the same story, the same song and dance they do every time they come out with another release. So it says the series could finally say the quiet part out loud. Now, what could that be? On December 10th, 2020, Lucasfilm swung for the fences. Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy announced 9 new original series, ushering in a new era of Star Wars media. And it was all dog shit, but going on. Over the next 3 years, some of the series succeeded on Disney+, Andor, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Others flopped. I mean, they all flopped and were purged from the service. Willow, that was a stinker. And some were canceled before they ever got off the ground. Rangers of the New Republic, remember that? Neither do I. But one series remained a mystery. Until now. The most anticipated show Kennedy announced now has a confirmed writer and presumably star who could give Star Wars exactly what it needs. The most anticipated show? It's Lando? I thought it was Kenobi. I thought it was Boba Fett. I thought it was Andor. But anyway, Variety reports that brothers Donald and Stephen Glover will write for Lando, the Lando Calrissian spin-off series, which we haven't heard a word about since 2020. Donald Glover will reprise his role from Solo, which was widely regarded as one of the movie's highlights. Dear White People showrunner and Haunted Mansion director Justin Simeon was previously connected to write, though he told The Hollywood Reporter on Thursday that he didn't know the current state of his involvement, because of course that's what Kathleen Kennedy does. She fires people. She's like freaking Mr. Spacely. Jetson, you're fired! Donald Glover's continued involvement is a good omen, and not just because it means Lando hasn't been canceled. Star Wars has always explored real-world topics through allegory. Look at The Mandalorian. Look at how The Mandalorian portrays differences between religious sects, or how the Book of Boba Fett tackled indigenous representation in the franchise's own past. But sometimes it doesn't hurt to be a little more explicit, and that's what a Lando series penned by the Glovers could deliver. Lando, now pay attention to this, okay? Lando is not an alien, a droid, or another walking metaphor. He's a queer black man making his way through the galaxy however he can. This is a story they've told before. Donald and Stephen Glover's Atlanta wasn't just a show about a black man, but one that explored all sorts of otherizing, from poverty to systemic injustice to simple human peculiarities. Lando doesn't need to be Atlanta in space, but it captures even a fraction, but if it captures even a fraction of Atlanta's tone, it can be one of Star Wars' most mature projects. So they're saying, as a queer black man, Lando could be the best thing that Disney Star Wars has put forth yet in the form of a series. Only one problem about that, guys. Lando is not a queer black man. But here we go, and we should all be offended by this, but especially black men. As a youngster growing up, when I watched Empire Strikes Back and I saw Return of the Jedi, Lando was such a great character. He was a great character, period. But okay, if you want to say, I don't want to rob him of his legacy. If you want to say a black man, okay, that's fine. Even though in a galaxy far, far away, I don't think they were referring to each other as those things, but okay. Sitting in the movie theater as a youngster, when I saw Lando in these movies and things like that, I was proud of him because he didn't trumpet who he was, his skin color or anything like that. He was just a damn good character, and he was smooth and he was cool, and he came back and did what he was supposed to do after being forced to betray Lando and Leia, Chewbacca and them and everything. But he was a great character, one that I really looked up to when I was growing up. Now, to see all of these years later that they have changed his character so drastically that now he has to be a queer black man, it really, really burns me, man. It really burns me because it now robs the young black children who are growing up, especially the young black boys who are growing up, who are not growing up to be a queer black man. What about them? It's just like I said in some other videos before. Your diversity and inclusion ends up being diversity and exclusion because you're excluding people who are actually not into all of this stuff because you have to force it in there, even though what we all came here for was the action, adventure, excitement, and imagination of it all. We weren't looking for these messages. We didn't ask for these messages, and it just drags it down because a lot of times you put these messages over actually coming up with a compelling story. So in the name of diversity and inclusion, you destroy the IP, you betray the IP because you take all of those things that made it great and you put it on the back burner and say, here, we're going to put our agenda on top of everything. And you pat yourself on the back about that. I don't care how many awards you get about that, but the story, the saga, will never be the same anymore because you sacrificed everything that made it great in the first place. So guys, reading that, I just wanted to put that out there, just a short video. Are you looking forward to the Lando series? I swear to God, I have lost a lot of respect for Donald Glover and his brother. I didn't know his brother, but if I did, I would have lost respect for him because you just took everything, and kids who grew up with this didn't need to see this. You acted like you were such a fan, Don Glover, of Lando Calrissian. But then you turn around and you enable something like this. This is the reason why people are walking away from Star Wars, just in case anybody was wondering. This is the reason why the IP is crashing and burning. This is the reason why. So look no further. All right, so guys, get in the comment section and let me know. Does it make a difference to you? I know a lot of people say Star Wars is dead, and other people are going to say, well, as long as it's got a good story. But guys, come on, you see what they're leading with, so you tell me. Get in the comment section, let me know. As always, guys, I thank you for listening. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you guys for the super thanks, and once again, thank you for hanging in there with me. I'll catch you on the next one. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.